Ja, liebe Zuschauer, herzlich willkommen zum Pausentalk. Bei mir sitzt Andrew Bodnarchuk. Thanks, Andrew, for joining.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
First of all, a quarter of the season is already done now. What's your impression on the Huskies and the whole league so far?
Um, yeah, it's a great question. I talk often with people in the hockey world, and my respect for this league grows each year. And coming into the DL2 3 years ago, year by year, it's getting stronger and stronger. There's better players every year, and it's becoming more and more competitive. So I think from the 3 years I got here till now, there's more and more teams competing and hungry to win a championship and get promoted. So the job's getting tougher every year, but I like the way our team's put together. I don't think we've consistently put our game together in a way that our roster should. But it's something we talk about, and I'm very optimistic that we do have a group that can come together and form a bond and a unity that is tough to beat come the end of the year. But it's a one day at a time process, and we're in it.
Okay, how do you see the Düsseldorfer EG coming to the league? I mean, you were coming from the DEL. Yeah, the sign that you mentioned that the league gets better all the time.
Yeah, with the addition of a relegation, you're going to have a team coming down that's a strong organization. And if you would have told me 7 or 8 years ago when I came to Germany that Dusseldorf would be playing in the second league, I'd be pretty shocked. And I think it's a bit of a surprise for a lot of German ice hockey fans, but that's an extremely good organization now playing in the DL2. And it brings another beautiful city to the league. It brings a beautiful arena, and it brings a team that wants to win. So it adds again more competition, and it's another group that's hungry and has a mission that's probably the exact same as ours.
Yeah, thank you for that. We are filming this interview right after the shootout win against Krimitschau. You scored a tally in that one. What was on your mind when scoring that?
Well, I was elated, excited after you score a goal, and then, like I said, or have talked about recently over the last time, I lost a good friend recently, so that came to my mind right away. But more than anything, it was a tight game. We needed a goal at that point, and I was just really happy for the team that I was able to chip in.
Yeah, connecting to that, you mentioned it. Yeah, Sila, in your mind in that, my heartfelt condolences to you and the family of JP McCollum, your friend of yours. Yeah, you made a trip home. Yeah, take us through that, why you did that.
Yeah, JP McCollum and his wife Mara Panacci are two of my best friends, and they went through a journey with their daughter, who's 10 years old. She was living with cancer, and it was a trying time for the family and a time where they were able to come together and experience as much as they could. But things moved along really quickly, and Sila left her body and moved on, and it gave me the opportunity to get back to Canada and support them and show up in whatever way I could. And time like that, you scratch for words, and there's not a lot to say, but oftentimes it's just being present, and that was the opportunity they gave me, was just to be present with them, and there was absolutely no question that I was going to take advantage of that. So my heart goes out to them. Obviously, a thing like that happens, and things quiet down a little bit. The silence can often be just as tough as the actual event itself. So I try to do my best from afar to support them, and I'm hoping to do that while I'm here.
Okay, what's the role of the Kassel Huskies in that? I mean, you could go there. It's the season right now. Yeah, what's the role of the Huskies in there?
Well, my respect for this organization is over the moon through and through from the time I've got here. My respect for Todd and Daniel, Darren and Paul is super high, and I talked to Todd a few months ago and just let him know the situation. And even though everyone was optimistic and hoping for the best and hoping for a miracle that Sela would be able to pull through, um, the way her spirit is, you always held hope that that would happen. But I let them know that there could potentially be a time where I needed to go home, and I knew if this journey ended this way, I had to be there. My heart was pulled there, and before I could even get it out of my mouth, Todd said, "Not a question," and that's the way he's been and the way Daniel's been, and the whole organization is a family first organization, and there was never a question for them. So it made it easier for me to get back to Canada and support them, knowing that I had the full support of the team here. So it's really appreciated.
Yeah. Also, you're changing your jersey number from 47 to 10. This is not only a thing that the Huskies have to say yes to. The L2 has to as well. Yeah. Take us through that process.
Yeah, I was. It was actually while I was in Canada, and I had the honor of speaking at Sela's celebration of life. And when I was there, I got to see all of her hockey teammates and the smiles on their faces, and I got to see pictures and videos of them playing hockey and in the dressing room, and I got to see pictures of her competing with the jersey number 10 on, and the smile and joy on her face. And while I was there, it came to my heart to make a jersey change for the rest of the year. Like I said, being here at times, I wish I was able to be back in Canada just to check in with the family and give them a hug, or help with a meal or wash a dish, or just to be present. But this is my way of showing support to them, and selfishly, in a way, it's a way for me to look at that number 10 on the jersey whenever I go out for a game, and have a reminder to go out and just have fun competing. I used to be a 10-year-old boy who would just love the game and do anything I could to play it. So after playing 18 years, sometimes you got to remind yourself of that, and what better way to remind myself than to throw on that jersey and know what it means, and know how many people would give a lot to be doing what I'm doing. So I want to make sure that's remembered every time I put on the jersey. And I told the family my idea, and they supported it fully. So I'm really excited, and really, really thankful to the league. Really thankful to the league. I know they're making a special case of this for me, and it's not forgotten, and it's appreciated in a big way.
Yeah, sounds really good. And also to remember Sela in that, very great. If you bought that plane going to Canada, what kind of emotions go through you when you step in there and fly alone over the Atlantic there?
Well, it's one. It happens so quick, and I don't fly alone, and that's another thing that I'm thankful for. Is I flew with my whole family. My wife is as good of friends with them as I am. It's a whole community. So we went over with my wife and my son, and we stayed with the family most of the time we were there. And as you're getting on the plane and going over there, you're kind of just going through the motions of getting your bags on and all the details. And it's not until you land and you pull up to the house that the the emotion and the depth of why you're there really hits you. But you ground yourself, and you're able to be present for them. And then at the same time, it's the first time in a few years that all my best friends and all my closest people were home at the same time in Canada. So it was a beautiful reunion, and there was a big silver lining because there was lots of smiles, lots of shared moments, and just a really, really special time. But then, as it's time to get back to Castle, you have to kind of say goodbye to people, and there's a split second where you kind of forget why you're there, and the emotion of it hits you again. And to be completely honest, we had a few days of practice before our first games, and the first day or so back, you kind of feel like you're not where you're supposed to be after going through something like that, and supporting the family. You almost feel like your heart is still there, but that passes, and I'm grounded back here in Castle. But like I said, the jersey change is a small thing I can do to show the family my support and bring a little bit of attention to them and to their situation. And I've been running a GoFundMe for the family prior to Sela passing away, and I'm still running that just so the family can have a little bit more flexibility as self-employed people. There is 3 other children that they have too, so they have to balance not only this situation but holding together a family and meeting and supporting their kids at the same time that they support each other. So the support of the outside community, I know it's in Canada and I'm in Germany, and it might not touch everyone in Germany the same way it touched my community that I grew up with, but any love is felt for sure.
Okay, to that emotional topic, I just have one question left. You're also a friend of Brad Marchand, who was there as well. I mean, you could just be there, give them a hug or something. What else could you do as both of your friends of JP McCollum?
Yeah, it's you just figure it out while you're there. You don't. There's no expectations. I didn't have a game plan. He didn't either. But you just show up and you wash dishes. You help go get groceries. You make sure that their kids are playing and having fun, and you just ask what they need, and you open your ears and shut your mouth sometimes because there's not a lot of words that can heal or soothe someone in that time. So like I said, that was the tough part about leaving, was you just want to be there to help in any way you can. And I believe they felt that, and it was, like I say, an honor to be brought into their circle and be part of their community in a time of need, and it was an honor to be accepted to show up and support them. So I love them dearly, and send my love to them as often as I can.
Okay, then thank you for that very emotional talk, Andrew, and sharing feelings with us. Yeah, Andrew, I know you changed your approach on body and mind also doing sports and playing hockey. You changed your nutritional habits, breath work and mediation are parts of your practice as well. What kind of effects do you feel in practicing and playing and benefits of it?
Yeah, it's a good question. If I look back on my ice hockey career, I feel like I have 3 different lives from the start of my career to the middle of my career to where I'm at now. It really seems like 3 totally different people almost, but a wild and beautiful journey, and I'm loving every minute of it. But I work with someone called Paul Check, and he refers to it as the pain teacher, and pain has taught me a lot throughout my career, and I've been able to make adjustments in my lifestyle, whether it's eating, drinking, relationships, to try and avoid pain as much as possible. So for me, it's just about longevity. I know without those changes, I probably wouldn't still be playing. I probably wouldn't still be able to perform in a pain-free way the way I do. So it's just growing up and learning what works for you and what doesn't, and what your body's asking for and what it often doesn't need.
Yeah, it's a big effect on your everyday life. And speaking about everyday life, I don't play hockey, and I think it's really tough to motivate every morning. Is that a benefit of it as well, or how do you motivate yourself?
Yeah, that's it's a benefit in a way that I wake up pain free most mornings, which is great. I know there was a time in my career where I'd wake up and have aches and pains, and it'd be tough to roll out of bed. Um, the the motivation comes from, I guess, my dream, and in having a dream and a goal, and having a purpose behind why I do things. A lot of times, a lot of times in the past, I didn't really have a intention or a purpose on why I was maybe working out a certain way, or why I was eating or not eating, or drinking or not drinking. And now I like to think that I'm a little bit more conscious of my actions, and what my actions are bringing me, whether it's in life away from the rink, or life at the rink. So it's just an overall, I think, growing up and maturing process, and kind of taking control of what you can control.
Um, is your approach also affecting like your body with inflammations? I heard a podcast with defender Arne Ublegger, who said that at the end of the season, your whole body is inflamed if you play the whole season. How do you get along with that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's I actually I played around with a diet for a long time that was called it was an anti-inflammation diet. It was an AIP protocol, and I credit my wife. She's a wizard with this stuff. She's a certified holistic coach and breathwork instructor. So at times she's been my coach. We've moved away from that because I can be quite a frustrating client for her. But she's brought a wealth of knowledge, and then it's something that I've gotten into and studied for the last couple of years, and I'm hoping to be able to help people one day with it as well. But that's the one of the biggest keys to my lifestyle, is keeping inflammation down, and it's been it's come in lessons through different illnesses I've had, or different health troubles that I've had, and it usually came down to an inflammation issue. So that's something that's definitely top of my mind. Well, not top of my mind anymore, because it comes second nature, but it's something I had to learn and keep an eye on.
When speaking about body work, I mean, hockey is a really stressful job, and you also are a dad. Where are the free parts where you can do that? You breathe work, and I mean, you have to be in a quiet place.
Yeah, that's a good question, and it took a lot. It took a little while to learn, and it's not always the easiest. But I learned I had to get up before my kid, and often. He used to be quite an early riser, and now he's chipping in with his parts, and sleeping just a little bit later. But I always have to wake up before the family, and take at least 45 minutes to myself, to kind of do a little bit of breath work, a little meditation, reset, and then just taking advantage of evenings. And like I said earlier in the interview, when I've lived 3 different lives as a hockey player, I kind of shake my head at how much free time I used to have, and accomplished next to nothing with it. But it's just taking advantage of the time that I do have, and maybe not getting caught on my phone or binge watching shows in the evening, and kind of working on myself, and taking advantage of the plethora of time that I do have, because there's a lot of excuses you can make that you don't have enough time, but there is enough time to make it possible if it means enough to you.
Continuing it, since when we were speaking about Brett Marchand before, since when are you friends, as a kid or in youth hockey?
Yeah, we were basically next door neighbors. We lived on the same street from the time I was about 13 years old. So we were hanging out, playing every day. We were actually quite a terror to our neighborhood, and drove our parents absolutely crazy more often than not. But yeah, I was banned from his household for a couple weeks at a time, just because we had siblings, and we tended to play rough. But I've had a long relationship with him, and I had the pleasure of playing junior hockey with him, and then we were roommates for our first year of professional hockey, and then got to play in the NHL together. And yeah, it's a really close bond. It's not something I take advantage of or forget. We don't talk every day, but that's one of my best buddies.
Yeah, I found out that you played in 2004 at the juniors U17, I guess, together. Yeah, and then you mentioned it, playing at Boston. Is Brad the most talented hockey player you played with, or is he just more good because of his work ethic?
No, I'd say it to Brad's face. He's by far not the most talented player I know. I know many players that are more talented, but he is by far the best example of someone setting goals and no one telling him he couldn't achieve it. And I actually got to hang out with him recently when I was back in Canada, and we talked about this, and it always amazed me that every time he accomplished something amazing in his career, he immediately set a goal that was a little bit crazier. And he always set a goal that was almost non-realistic to people around him. But he believed it, and he had that North Star guiding him. And then his work ethic was next to none. And like I said, nobody was going to tell him that he couldn't do it. And after 1,000 points and 1,000 games later, and hopefully an Olympic spot, people are finally, after 18 years, accepting that if he says he's going to do something, it's probably going to happen. But he's an amazing example for any athlete, hockey player, person to set a crazy goal and go after it.
Okay, in 2007 and 2008, at the Halifax Mooseheads, you played with Brad and, for example, Jakub Voracek. Yeah, take us through the first professional parts of your career.
Yeah, that was I had the pleasure of playing junior hockey at home in Halifax, and for ice hockey fans here in Deutschland, junior hockey is a big deal in Canada. It's got a professional atmosphere, so you got beautiful arenas and big crowds, and it's a big deal at the time. And it was really cool to play at home, and at times I see pictures and I see little clips and videos of that time, and it's almost surreal. You don't want to say that you took advantage of it, but you don't fully soak it in when you're 17, 18, 19 years old, because at that time I had the goal of playing professional and playing in the NHL, so I wasn't caught up in the bright lights of junior hockey and the accolades of being a junior hockey player. I was pretty focused on what I wanted to do, so I had the opportunity to get drafted to Boston and sign with them, and then play my first professional season in the American Hockey League with the Providence Bruins, and from there it was it's been a wild ride, and a lot of amazing moments, and yeah, and pleasure for everyone I've played with, and a real beautiful journey.
Yeah, sounds great. The first games in the NHL you made with Boston also. There were Marco Sturm, who is the Deutsche Bundestrainer, and Dennis Seidenberg. Could you also learn, I mean, they are from another continent, learn from them different approach? Did they do different, or did they maybe be more American?
I think for the most part, European hockey players that come over adapt to North American culture. At that time, I really was... I don't want to say a stupid young guy, but like I wasn't really paying much attention to what country guys were from. And to be honest, the first time I got called up to the NHL, I was just focused on not shitting my pants. My first NHL hockey game was in Toronto, which is a massive hockey town, and it was on Hockey Night in Canada. And I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know what anxiety was until I got quite a bit older, but I was anxious, and I was pretty locked up. So I look back on that game with joy because I got to play in the NHL. It wasn't a strong performance, and I wouldn't say that I was comfortable in any way. But I got to play with some amazing people and amazing players. And when I go down the list of players I've gotten to play with, it's pretty incredible, including those guys.
Um, in these days, you always see people doing their rookie laps. Did you have to do that as well?
No, there's been a lot of new things that have come along. I think with social media and how things are recorded and special ceremonies. I think there's a lot more of that. For me, it was pretty low key. Yeah, there's no rookie lap or anything like that.
Okay. In 2014-15, you won the Color Cup, the title in the American Hockey League. With the Manchester Monarchs. What made this team so good to accomplish that mission and win?
Yeah, really good question. We had an amazing group of players. The roster itself was really good, but the group of personalities that we had on the team was really, really special, and it was one of, if not the best team I've been part of as far as that. It was a group from top to bottom that guys accepted their roles, and everyone was having fun, and everyone wanted more. So we had a group that we had forwards that wanted to play in the NHL. We had D-men that wanted to play in the NHL. We had guys that were hungry to show what they could do so that they could improve their career, but doing it in the right way, in the role they were put in. And it was a beautiful example of a team coming together in a way that everyone was happy to do their part and bring energy and excitement while doing it, and that's infectious, and it was an awesome thing to experience.
Yeah, you're a well-experienced player. What makes it so difficult that you make that every year? So, I mean, there are certain groups of players who work good together, and maybe the Huskies in 2016 won the championship. They were a pretty darn good team. What is so difficult about rebuilding that again?
Yeah, experienced is a nice way of saying it, for sure. But every year is different, and every year you have a different set of personalities on a team, and the team can set a goal, but it's not every year that you can get every player's goal to be in line with the team's goal. So that's something you got to keep an eye on, and I think is the more you talk about it as a team, the more you can identify it, and often help guys find their space and their identity within the team, and the quicker that can happen, the better it is for the team. And as we stand right now, I'm hopeful that our team can do that as well. And you can see by the moves that the organization's made, they're fully supporting that dream and that goal. So it's on the players to buy in and find their piece of the puzzle to make that dream happen.
And now, my last question in that. You told in an interview that you wanted to live in Germany after your career. In general, what can German hockey learn from North American hockey? I mean, we could discuss that for maybe 4 hours or so. But is there anything what comes to your mind? What could be made in Germany that maybe Canadians or Americans do?
Oh, that's a good question. Really good question. My wife and I definitely want to live in Europe after hockey's done. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to be, but as far as German hockey goes, that's a good question. I'd have to sit on, and I feel like if I'd answer right now, it wouldn't be fully honest. But if there's one thing about playing hockey in North America versus coming over to Germany, I think when you're in Canada and you grow up with the hockey culture around you similar to the Bundesliga football culture, hockey is the the ultimate when you're in Canada, and I think you have a larger group of hockey players that are single-minded in their focus, as far as that's the only thing they want to do in their life. And I think you see the work ethic in the gym, the practice every day. I'm not saying there's lots of people. I've seen it in Germany, and there's been some amazing German hockey players, and I've played with tons of them. I'm playing with them now, but you see a bigger group of people that are willing to sacrifice everything to be the best hockey player they can, because that is the only thing they want to do, and there's no other distractions. And I think that culture is coming in Germany, and I think as the game's growing, and being here in 8 years, I think hockey's growing massively in Germany, and I think the quality of hockey's grown massively, and you've had more and more influence with North American coaches coming over and helping players, but you got to be obsessed. You got to be obsessed to get to that level, and I think there's just a few more people in North America obsessed with it.
Okay, thank you for the insights, Andrew. Now you can go. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thank you.